What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, okay? It's the 8th day of February, and it's been a little while since I've talked about Cookie. I think the last video I made was on the 25th. I know it was on the 25th of January. I think that's my longest stint not making a video on Cookie DAO since this low back here. On that day, I did say we'd probably go lower. We did go lower than I expected we would go, but we still went lower. I've been meaning to talk about Cookie over the past few days. I haven't forsaken Cookie. I still love Cookie. That's why I made a post on X saying that I haven't sold any of my cryptos because Cookie, I did say Bitcoin Cash and Onyx Coin are the cryptos that I'm probably the most confident in right now, but I haven't sold any of my other cryptos. And I didn't point to Cookie because, well, obviously, you've got a new all-time low. It's hard to have confidence in something when you're at new all-time lows. Some people might look at this and think, well, obviously, we're at all-time lows, so it's the best time to buy, but it's not always that simple. I haven't sold any Cookie DAO, and I wouldn't sell any Cookie DAO here because it's a terrible time to sell. We're at all-time lows. We've been moving down in a straight line, more or less, since May. We're going to have some type of reverberation back to the upside, and I think it'll be very fierce. I wouldn't be surprised if Cookie moved all the way back up to 7 cents or more in a very, very short amount of time. And maybe there's where you could think about selling before it crashes back into oblivion. I'm not saying it's going to go into oblivion. That's not my expectation, at least at the moment. But really what I'm thinking is this is not a good time to sell. And again, I want to be clear. I was just having fun there, saying crashing into oblivion. If anything, what we'd look for is a breakout. We'd look for some consolidation, maybe a higher low, and then some kind of new trend to form. That's what we're looking for, right? I don't think that Cookie's dead. I don't think that it's done. I just think that you're having a hard time with this attack on InfoFi on X. I think that's what it is. The Cookie snaps going away, I think, is a problem, and they're working on it. And they're working on it. They're being as transparent as they can. And for how dramatic of an effect that might have had on the price amidst all the mayhem, this really isn't that much volume in comparison to what we've seen in the past. And Cookie DAO again here is at a better place to buy than it is to sell. So just so we're clear, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We're at a much better price to buy here than we are to sell. But looking at this here at 2 cents on the daily time frame, yeah, this is one of our bigger flops. And that happens, by the way. You know, in the most successful bull markets, you're going to have coins that flop. You're going to have them. You're going to have coins that don't flop. And what you do is you take the ones that flop and you move it into the coins that don't flop, or you just stop adding to these ones. You hope that they come back. Maybe they do. You can think about it later, whatever. I certainly won't be DCing into Cookie, even though I really do believe it is a good time to buy here. I've just bought enough, and it's caused me enough headache where I'm going to wait for some type of recovery, maybe up to this area of support back here, before I think about selling, or if we get any structure, before I think about buying more, whatever that might be. I'm all over the place with this. But what I'm really trying to say here is that though I do believe it's a good time to buy for Cookie DAO, I'm probably not going to buy because I'm already invested. I've already got enough. And in this market where we're in a bear market environment with Bitcoin and the rest of the market, I'm going to look to hold on to my winners or cash itself. Cookie is clearly neither one of those. And that's okay. I still love Cookie. I love the project. I like the team. I think they've got a lot going for them. They just, they got to work this stuff out with the snaps. And the fact that they're being transparent, the fact that they're going through the shit right now, I've seen plenty of cryptos go through this kind of stuff and they come out on top. I've seen plenty go through it and they never come back. We're waiting and seeing. And that's why in these moments, in these kind of crucible moments, this is typically when it's the best time to buy. When was it the best time to buy XRP in the last 5 years? It was when the SEC sued XRP, when they sued Ripple Labs. That's what it was. Or what was that? Was that 5? It had to have been within the last 5 years, I think. Whenever the last time to buy XRP was in the last 2 cycles was when the SEC sued XRP or sued Ripple Labs, right? And they got delisted from Coinbase. All these negative things were happening. Right? Those are the best times to buy in adversity. But the only reason why XRP came back is not because people bought so much that it sent it through the roof. It's because the team behind Ripple Labs, they fought back. They fought back. And they continued doing business. And they continued building a system and a product. And that's like Cookie DAO here. Are they going to fight back? Looks like they're trying to. And not fight back, but collaborate, work with X, and maybe figure something else out. Maybe an alternative, maybe something just like Snaps, but it's different technically, so it's legal, or so it doesn't violate whatever policy. They're working on it. And that's what matters. And if they find a solution, which I think, if you work hard enough at something, you'll probably find a solution. This should come back. And again, I do think that in time, Cookie DAO will see new all-time highs. That time is nowhere near where we are now. And I hope that's very clear. I highly doubt from here we do this exact same thing. Though, in all fairness, it did take us, from November of 2024 until January of 2025, like 2 months, 3 months. It took 2.5 months, 3 months to see a 40x move. More coins have been released. There's a higher market cap now at this price than there was back here, probably, I would assume. Let's actually see. I want to see what that looks like. Hold on. Like how many tokens have been printed in this amount of time. Where was this? This is back in November 2024, so we're like a year and a half away from that. Let's see. Because I am kind of curious, actually. What are the eyes? What does that mean? Anyways, market cap. Yeah, the market cap is a lot higher here than it was here. So you look at Cookie in this format, it's actually really not that bad. Like if you're thinking about Cookie in a company format, if you're the company, if you're the owners and you have the majority stake in Cookie, your retracement is not that bad in comparison to your price. I mean, it's still intense, but it's not as bad compared to your price. Your price back in November of 2024 was here, and your market cap was here, and now your market cap is up here, whereas your price technically just put in lower lows. That sucks. That's no fun, but again, there's a lot of token unlocks that have started happening since December of 2025. Or it looks like there were a lot of token unlocks. No, that was the growth. There were a lot of token unlocks that happened in December, starting December 2025, and I think that's paired with this negative environment. And then on top of that, not just the negative environment in crypto, but paired with the issues with X and the cookie snaps, it's just a perfect storm for this thing to dump. But that doesn't mean it's dead. Again, on your market cap, you have higher lows. Your market cap, you're at 12.9 million. It's a low enough market cap where you have a lot of potential for growth still. Even here, I mean, you can see multi-hundred X from here, from this current price. And I think in time, Cookie DAO will. If you're looking, I mean, I'm talking myself into buying some more Cookie right now, actually. That's what's happening. In time, this thing I very much do believe will see new all-time highs. It's just, do you have the patience for it? I'm not selling here. I don't plan on selling whenever it comes back. I just, unfortunately, where we bought here, we started to DCA. We went heavy here and bought and bought. On the way up, we bought here, and then we bought more. It just wasn't, it didn't work out. Cookie DAO became one of my biggest bags. It's now one of my smallest bags because, well, the whole crypto market didn't really work out the way that we thought it would, right? August, September, October was lackluster. There was no alt season. Bitcoin's bull market wasn't as robust, and we've been crashing since October. So just on top of all that, since October, that's about half this drop in what was rather lackluster price action beforehand. You have flops. Sometimes the most appropriate thing with the flop is to cut your losses and run and put it into something more solid. Sometimes the most appropriate thing is to do nothing and just wait and see how it goes. You just let it ride. Sometimes it's appropriate and entirely appropriate most of the time to come up with a plan to take your losses at better prices. And I would assume that from here, we likely would pull back to this point of support here to find resistance. From a high to a low, oops, down over here. The 382 is right there. It's perfect. I wouldn't be surprised at all. From here, 2 cents. Cookie does rip to like 7.5 cents to maybe even 10 cents, somewhere in that kind of zone in a very short amount of time. I mean, this could happen by April from here. I just don't think that it's going to carry on like this. Let's go back. I'll leave this 382 here, okay? And look back here. When you initially pumped from the same price area, you basically went right there. You stopped right here at the 382. You found resistance here, support there, support there. It's a semi-significant area, and it's a pretty significant area back here. But relatively speaking, especially with the 382, I think there is some significance. So right around 7.5 cents, 8 cents there. I think Cookie DAO, if you're holding Cookie DAO and you DCA'd up here, you're not going to get out in the green if you're trying to get out. Definitely don't get out here, but you're not going to get out in the green if you're trying to get out. That might be a good getting out point. Me, personally, I'm not going to get out there. But I would bet that's where we go. Not financial advice, not financial advisor. If I bought the highs, if I bought the lows, if I bought these areas, if I bought these areas, and I was looking to get out of Cookie DAO, this is where I would do it, somewhere around 7.5 cents. And I think that we will get there, and I think it'll take probably a month, 2, maybe 3, probably before Q2 is at an end. Maybe before Q1's at an end. I don't believe Cookie DAO is in the dumps. I don't believe that the project that they've constructed, all the developments that they've made, and all the work that they've put in is all for naught. I believe in the team. I believe they're going to figure things out. And again, adversity is when it's the best time to buy. It's whenever everybody thinks it's a scam, it's a bad project, it's the all-time lows. Only the smart people, only the people with vision are the people who bought at the lows before. It's the same thing now. There's not a lot of volume going on here, relatively speaking, sure, but in all your history, it's really not that much. This doesn't seem like a rug pull. This doesn't seem like the team's going away. I don't think they're going away. I think they're here working still. This is really just a perfect time to accumulate Cookie DAO at a very undervalued price. That's my thoughts. But I've got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. I don't know. If I had some dry powder on the side, it really wouldn't be a bad idea to get in here, I think. I'll let you know if I do buy any more. But I mean, in all honesty, going up to like 7.5 cents, it's like a 3.5x move. And it'll probably happen very fast. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it happened very fast like this. I actually want to see, I haven't looked at too many indicators. RSI is in the dumps, so is the MACD and the stochastics. A little bit of bullish divergence there on the MACD. Some actually very intense bullish divergence. Wow. This whole drop here, which I mean that in itself is back up to like 3.8 cents, so that's pretty solid growth too. What about the 3-day? Man, this bullish divergence just didn't work for us. I'm so sad. I mean, maybe it's trying to. Maybe it's still diverging. Weekly time frame. No bullish divergence on the weekly MACD. Stochastics are reset. RSI is oversold. Nothing really to go off of. But I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Hit that like button. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.